Hello, here he is. Here we are. Sorry we're late, peeps. How is everybody doing?
I can't help thinking that that countdown at the start of the video there, with its epic orchestral symphony, would sound great with like right at the end having a needle pulled off the record and then going straight into the chat and loads of obscene jokes taking place.
I have thought of that. Afternoon, Matt, by the way. Demon Scythe, Synthwave, everybody. Bit of a mouthful. Managed to get it out today. You all right, Matt?
I am. I'm all right. I'm not bad. Yourself?
Not too bad. Not too bad. There's Cockney waiting in the wings. We'll bring him in a minute. Yeah, the Doomcock intro that I did for him, I was going to do that as well. Kind of go, with the needle.
Oh, yeah,
that scratch needle. It just it's just a great effect, isn't it? It's just like, whoop.
Yeah, it just says, it screams, professionalism, completely overshadowed by amateurish incompetence.
Which this channel doesn't.
Yeah, but you've got the amateurish incompetence bit. That's the important bit.
Yeah, got that down to a T, mate.
Yeah.
Right, we'll get Cockney in. Just bear with me. God, this computer's so slow. I need a new computer. All right, Cockney.
Amateurs. Start late and then you start early for being late. What is this? A wind up?
Sorry,
don't want to hear it. You're fired.
My ex-work colleague rang me up to see how I was.
And what did you say? I'm about to go on stage, but tell you what, I'll put my feet up and have a chat, shall I?
Well.
Tell me about your life.
No, well, listen. Considering that I worked with a guy for 11 years and he was sat next to me, I think it's a bit of a when he rings.
He's picked his moment, hasn't he?
When he rings, you answer. I think he's earned the right.
Oh well, there you go. Different writing, different philosophies. I'd have fucked him right off. I've got a show to do, son.
He's doing you a favour and listening in afterwards.
I don't know. I think he was just genuinely, because I've not seen him since. I went a few weeks ago to get a couple of bits from work, but that was just literally just 30 seconds. But yeah, it was a bit of a decompression moment from being employed to being told to fuck off, if you know what I mean. And there's going to be a lot of people in the same position as me, just like, what the fuck? It's not good.
Not really, no. But at least there's people like that still around, eh?
You do your best to scratch a living, and then it's taken from under you, and it's not good. But anyway, as I said to him on the phone, I miss him sat next to me and my mate sat next to him. But the rest of it, I have not missed it for 1 second.
You know what? It's exactly the same with me in my last job as well. It's what made any kind of sense me actually still going there was the people that I worked with. Like, sod the jobs, the management. It was the people,
Yeah, I will just say, you work with these. I worked with there for 18 years, and I've known this guy 17. He started the year after me, and he worked at a different location, but he came over in about 2007. So, God, it's even longer, isn't it? So yeah, he's sat next to me 14 years, and you spend more time with the people you work with than probably the people who you live with.
Yeah, or your mates. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you think about it, if you're sat next to somebody for 12, 13 years, 8 hours a day, assuming you like them, which I did, you know,
Be a bugger if you didn't.
yeah, these people are important. You know, they're as good as family, and you know, I've got no issue telling, you know, technically a complete stranger that, you know, I love him, etc., etc.
So if you're friends of the family that you choose, then are your work colleagues the friends that you don't choose?
I think that's
But
a
how that
discussion.
works.
That's a discussion for another show, don't you?
They're the friends that are thrust upon you.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Thrust upon you.
Usually, hopefully, for the you know, for the positiveness in your life, you know, adding more positivity to your life. It is poor having to work with people who you don't like, but I've been blessed. So the management are a set of cunts. Sorry.
That's
Not
often
in
the
a good
case.
way.
They obviously didn't give a shit about their loyal employees who they'd worked there for some longer than me. Refusing to give them a yearly pay rise for all those years. When I started there, I was effectively on a very, very tidy wage in 2002. 2 pay rises later, yeah, of 1.5%, I was on £400 more a year than what I was 18 years ago.
Right.
Oh. If you adjust
So-
for that for inflation, you've lost out.
So people, as I said, in 2002, I was more than happy with what I was on. And if I had have had, you know, say 2% a year or 2% every other year, because, you know, let's be realistic, I'd have been, you know, happy. But they would never give the longest serving employees a pay rise. So effectively, those people who had been there 20 years were effectively working on minimum wage. But I found out at the time, the guy who sat a couple of chairs away from me, who'd never done print in his life, yeah, 20 years younger than me. And don't get me wrong, I've got nothing against him. He's a good lad. And, you know, me and this other lad, you know, we're like family, yeah. He was being trained up to do the job. 20 years younger than me, no print experience. Found out after I'd been made redundant that, and bear in mind, this is me asking. I'd given up. I was asking for a pay rise pretty much every year, and then I just gave up. So I've not really asked for a pay rise in maybe 6-7 years. So
So many questions.
he was on 20 years younger than me, right? No experience. He was on £4,000 a year more than me. And I'd been there 20 years. And I was always made excuses.
If he had no experience, then I mean, let alone the extreme. But why? How did he even get the job?
Well, I think he had some because it was kind of like somebody to be kind of tutored, if you know what I mean. But he worked in a printers, as in doing estimating, so he had an idea of how stuff worked, which is why he got in. And he was a good lad. But they were going to train. It was going to they were going to train him up. You see, yeah. So he was on more money than me, but the reason why he was on more money than me, because when obviously they advertised the job, they would advertise it for the going rate at the time. So the job, what he did, the going rate was about 25 grand a year, and that was about 10, 12 years ago. So they're still underpaying him. Yeah, I should have been on about 30 grand a year, but they were just basically fucking putting me on minimum wage. I could have just gone down. You know, Aldi this week have said they're putting their kind of living wage to about £9.50. I could have just walked to the village instead of doing a 50-mile, 2-hour round trip, and just walked in Aldi and worked for the same pay. And my job, graphic designer, print repro, etc., degree educated, for fucking peanuts. And there's just, they used furlough to get rid of all these lowest paid people who they wanted to get rid of because, they deemed them as trouble or, whatever, or, they just wanted to downsize, and they used furlough. And I know for a fact there'll be other companies like this who use furlough to effectively get rid of all these people on the cheap.
Very clever of them. But clever.
Very, very cynical. Yeah.
It is, because it's hard to fire people and you can't lay someone off without compensating them fairly. So they got around both those two, eh?
Yeah, I know. And as soon as the government brought the furlough scheme in, that was the death nail for a lot of people like me. And there's going to be a lot of people who early 50s who are going to effectively have to retire because they ain't going to get another job. Because employers look at them and go, 51, well, they're going to want X amount of money. 22, no experience, pay them fuck all. There's going to be a lot of people who are going to be forced to semi-retire like me. So unless if they learn new skill sets, I think it is a mess on every level. On every level, what's going on. And yeah, I just think we've not even, touched the surface of all this stuff that's going on yet. There's going to be a massive tsunami of unemployment, mental health, suicides, you name it. It's not going to be good. And you know what? What upsets me the most is all the young people who they should be at work now. All the people in the 20s, 30s, early 40s who are the lifeblood of the economy should be at work now, keeping the country moving. But what's happening is they're all having to stay at home to protect older people, 75, 80, 85, 90, who I've said this before, it's not me being awful. They've had their lives. They've had good lives. They've had everything on a plate. They've had the pensions, the cars, the houses. They've had everything. And now they're getting the vaccines first of all. Whereas it should be given to the younger people who are keeping the country alive long term. And I spoke to my sister who works in a shop the other day, and all the old people coming in, right? They don't give a fuck. They're not wearing masks or nothing. And then when they say, when my sister says you got to wear a mask, oh, do you? I didn't know. My dad, right? He never washes his fucking hands. Goes to the toilet and then comes in. Do you want a cup of tea? Not washed his fucking hands. They just don't fucking get it. It's people like that who are. That's why we're in the fucking mess we're in now. That is it too hard to wash your fucking hands after you've been to the toilet, or you do the shopping, come home, put the shopping away. This is what I do: put the shopping away, wash my hands, and then you just get on with it. Is it too much to ask someone just to wear a fucking mask and wash your hands, or just the courtesy of just wearing a mask going into a shop and not either pleading ignorance or just going off at the fucking poor shop worker who's only there doing the job? It's just this fucking arrogance of, me?
Sheer fucking hubris.
Me? That's why we're in a fucking mess. We're in a fucking mess, ladies and gents. And this is for the UK, obviously. And I think with what's going on in America, where Trump has basically said you don't need to wear a mask, blah, 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 blah. And now Biden's turned all that over. In America, they're in a fucking mess. And there's just, I dread to think what state they're going to be in 2-3 months.
Now you've mentioned it. It was an interesting press conference where...
Sorry, guys, that was me on my soapbox. I do apologise.
Well, that's why I was jumping in. But no, that Biden press conference...
Sorry, Matt.
Who's the new press secretary or whatever it is for the Democrats going... well, we're all wearing masks mandated, and someone pointed out...
Too late.
Biden's not wearing a mask, and she's like, he's got more important things to worry about than COVID. What?
Too late.
Hey! But there you go. That's
Anyway,
Anyway,
Matthew, are you still there? Have you nodded off?
No, I'm listening to your rant, mate. Just reminds me back in the summer when I saw kids everywhere, like crowding in parks and not paying attention to any of the rules. You know, it goes across all ages, I suppose, really. But just ignorance and that kind of mentality of it doesn't apply to me. You know, they just don't think of the bigger picture, really.
Yeah, it's like with Christmas. I understand people have to go see family for Christmas, but just for fuck's sake, just try and be a little bit more careful instead of, who, me? Not going to happen to me. Who, me? And now we're getting this is all the Christmas stuff coming through, isn't it now? All the people who are dying. It's all the Christmas gatherings that's kind of filtering through the system now, but anyway. Fuck knows how this is going to get resolved. I just think a very large bottomless pit has been dug, and then, we haven't got any ladders.
Yeah, and at the same time, I've seen videos from certain places in Asia of people gathering in streets for New Year, and you know, out in pubs and bars. Same in Italy as well. I've seen all this going on. I'm thinking, like, hang on a minute, what? When was this taken? Surely like a year ago or something, 2 years ago? No, it's like last week. What is going on?
I just think
what is going on?
To be fair, I think after this lockdown, I don't think there's going to be a lockdown 4 because I just don't think nobody's going to follow it. People have had enough.
Yeah, if that keeps going on, then people are just going to go against it and say, "It's going to go on forever."
I'm kind of thinking that people are thinking what I'm thinking now. I think we should have just let it run its course. That's part of life. You know, if I was worried about catching or getting knocked down by a bus by crossing the road, I'd never go out. And it's just a perfect storm of people living too long because of standard of living has increased, but the evolution of the human body hasn't caught up with the medical science. Combination of poor lifestyles, you know, smoking, drinking, eating fatty foods, dairy, blah blah blah. And obviously the evolution of the virus being particularly nasty. I just think it's a perfect storm of several components coming together, and I'm kind of thinking we should have just let it run its course. But that's just me, you know.
Well, they let the flu pretty much run its course, didn't they? I mean, they gave flu jabs, but no one was that hot on keeping people apart and being overly hygienic, you know?
Yeah, is it survival of the fittest? I don't know. End of the day, end of the day, that's, you know, animals are the ultimate survivors, and to them it's survival of the fittest. And you know, we don't have that kind of because you know we don't have that. But viruses just do what viruses do. They don't give a shit.
No, you're going to get mutations. You're going to get a more deadly version, you know, around the corner. You know, you can never predict this kind of thing ever.
They go on about all this herd immunity, but it just seems to me, how can you get a herd immunity when people are just locked up or they've just dropped dead? There's no middle ground.
No, surely the herd immunity only comes about when everyone's got the antibodies, and you can only get the antibodies by actually getting the virus, can't you?
Yeah, but how can we get it when we're all locked up? I've been thinking about this last couple of days. I'm kind of thinking that sometimes I just wished I'd catch it so I could just get it out of the way.
I did think that myself last week, actually. Yeah.
We can't go on living like this.
No, I can. What did I see last week? Someone, it was only a joke, but I thought, well, that's quite prophetic and actually quite relevant. Was the Star of David badge with like a comment on it saying, "Oh, we're going to have to all wear these soon to say that we've either been vaccinated or we've got the antibodies or something." You know?
Barcodes on the forearms, mate.
Yeah.
Any final words, Cockney?
It's a right old cock up. No, it does seem the worst of both worlds, basically. We've had the lockdown, the mental health issues, the destruction of the economy, and the spike in cases. It seems like madness to me.
And all for nothing, it seems, because
exactly.
People are just dying anyway. And I know young people have got the faults, you know, as in like Twitter and all that stuff. But genuinely, they're going to have to pick the fucking bill up for this. And it's them I feel sorry for. anyway.
Yeah, no, I can only see it in a. An optimist is never pleasantly surprised. I can only think it's going to get worse and just get used to the idea. And if it does get better, I'll be glad I'm wrong. But quite frankly, it doesn't
Things
look
can
like it.
only get better.
Yeah, except I think they can get worse, then maybe better.
Yeah, they're going to get worse. I fear they're going to get worse.
War with Iraq next. War with Syria. Well, still in the old war with Iraq, aren't we? Is it Gulf War II, Gulf War III? Do they
War
just
with
bleed into one?
ourselves.
War with
Civil
Iraq,
war.
yeah. War with Iran, war with Syria, war with each other, war with ourselves, war of the mind, internal war, cultural war.
War is good.
Lucasfilm. War is good for absolutely nothing except
for making a profit.
Except for making a profit. Indeed.
Nice little. Hello, viewer. By the way, hello, viewer.
We got a viewer.
To our viewer at home, you've missed all the serious bits, so you've come in just at the right moment. All the lighter
lucky
stuff.
people.
You
person.
lucky bastard. Right. So yeah, war, Lucasfilm, blah blah blah. This is kind of more Matt's.
Segue on 21.
Matt, can you see that on screen?
Oh, this bloody High Republic crap. Yeah.
Yeah, go on. What's all that about? I put in the comments. I try not to be negative, but I couldn't resist on this one. Why is the Gorn in Star Wars? But
yeah, it does look like the Gorn. It's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be green. I think he's supposed to be like more orange coloured. But it's a Trandoshan from
what?
Like Bosk from Empire Strikes Back. The
Gorn
guy.
Oh yeah, I remember them, but it's still a Gorn.
Yeah, well, you look at it like that and you think, yeah, it is a bloody Gorn, you know. But in Empire Strikes Back, he actually looks significantly different. But in this, I don't think they know what they're doing. They've just designed him to look like a Star Trek character.
Boss today, Gorn tomorrow.
There you go. So,
and isn't Jodie Whittaker in it? There's a character that they say is going to be Brie Larson, but to me she looks like Doctor Who. Not one of these three, obviously. Unless it's
either Andor.
Is that actual? Really. That's the actual first edition, then.
Apparently, that's first issue. Yeah, Gary bought it by the looks of things, and he's going to review it. But you know,
hail Gary.
He's going to review it and read it, so the rest of us don't have to. I suppose, really, not that any of us would.
It looks like the woman out of Skunk and Nancy. You remember that? What was her name?
Skunk and Nancy.
Skin.
Yeah. It's Skin.
Listen, I've got news for you, Kathleen. Skin out of Skunk and Nancy was doing what you're doing on there 25 years ago, love.
Indeed. And probably she wasn't doing it too.
She wasn't doing it to tick the fucking boxes, love.
No, and so Storm from the X-Men as well.
Yes. Storm went Mohican in War about 85 or something like that.
Oh, it was early, yeah. But I made an image recently. I put it on Twitter. It's probably still up there somewhere. Of like a wall of 20-odd women of colour, should we say, diverse women.
You doing that?
Oh, was that you?
Yeah.
Oh, very good, mate. Yes, very good.
Basically, they're all the same character with just minor changes here and there, and that's kind of like what pop culture is being turned into. You know, poop culture is being turned into. It's just these purposefully forced diverse women taking the place of all previous protagonists that were usually or notably straight white males, and it's like this slow eradication of that archetype, and they've just injected this same character into everything now.
Did you see I think Critical Drinker did a video about why the baddies are so shit nowadays? Did you see that the other day? On his channel, yeah.
Saw the thumbnail. I'm not sure I saw the video.
Yeah. He's basically
they can't beat the heroes or something.
Yeah, a lot of the heroes now are kind of you can't beat a woman up on a film because it's deemed as bad. Blah blah blah.
What's wrong with a good cat fight?
They don't flesh the characters out. They make the characters look pathetic, so that you basically they can be browbeaten all the time, whereas some of the baddies back in the day were just proper fucking bad bastards. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, like you said, I think I did see the video. It's something like a hero's only as good as his villain, right?
Yeah.
That mirrors exactly the situation with Conan Doyle's Sherlock and Moriarty. And what do we have now? Just a bunch of bollocks, isn't it?
Just a bunch.
Didn't Netflix bring a film out with the female cousin of Sherlock?
Sherlock.
Oh God. Oh God, it was. Yeah,
Yes.
recently it was Enola Holmes, like an invented character with Millie Bobby Brown from Stranger Things in the role as like some girl that's the bestest ever, and she can detect and do everything better than Sherlock Holmes can because she's girl power basically.
It's very difficult to sound like grumpy old men, but it's like what the fuck? Who the fuck? I'm sorry, just stepping back from that. Who the fucking hell writes shit like that? Oh.
Indeed. Well,
And I'm not being toxic. I'm just thinking it's what a load of old bollocks.
Cause you're toxic.
Toxic. That's me. Yeah. So are these? I know these magazines have been sat on for a while, haven't they? Apparently, because I'm sure.
I heard about this.
They've been in a warehouse or something, haven't they?
They were choosing a strategic time to release them because they knew the Mandalorian was going to take all the limelight. So they thought, we'll wait until the Mandalorian's over, then we'll release them because then everyone will be forgotten about the Mandalorian. They'll still be wanting more Star Wars because they'll be left wanting. So it'll be the prime moment for fans to jump onto this. So they timed it to be released right after the Mandalorian. But the problem is, the Mandalorian was so successful because of the reveal of Luke Skywalker at the end.
Oh yeah,
that everyone's still talking about that, and everyone's still rewatching that, and everyone's out busily buying Luke Skywalker merchandise.
Yeah,
and then they look at this crap and then just think, "Fuck is this shite?" So they don't bother with it.
Little Auntie Kathy's Star Wars comic, little Auntie Kathy, big fucking warehouse full of shit like this.
Yeah, it's going to be in like dollar stores and charity shops within 6 months.
Mate,
it's already on discount now. Yeah, it's already on discount. Mate. Yeah,
immediate discount.
It's like being toxic here. The lightsabers, very phallic.
That is toxic. You can't stick it in a rock, But they do. They use it to break their fall, and then the right way.
I'm sorry, Auntie Kathy. Very phallic.
There should be a light vagina, I guess, a female-centric weapon, something that just circular, soft, round, and grabs things. I don't know.
Yeah, a light shield that's sort of shaped a bit vaginal, like. So and you can push people away with it rather than kill and slice and cut people up and stab.
And then once a month, it gets a right hump.
It's a comic aimed at petulant youngsters, isn't it?
A shield with a little button that nobody can find, and some people don't even believe it exists.
If you can find the button, though, it gives you massive Jedi superpowers for about a minute.
The Jedi orgasm.
And if you keep stimulating it throughout a fight, then you basically become unbeatable.
Oi, Obi-Wank, what are you doing with that shield? Nothing, I'll be out in a minute.
Obi-Wank.
Obi-Wank.
I'm just on the...
Obi-Wank Kenobi.
Obi-Wank Kenobi. That's brilliant. There we go. That's his actual name.
Live riffing on
the half hour. All these years he's been called Obi-Wank Kenobi. That's brilliant. Nice. That the Force did that. That wasn't us. That was the Force acting through us.
The Force wills it.
Was that the Force channeling through you, Matt?
It often does that, mate. It often does that, especially when I look at porn.
Erotica. We call it erotica. We call it Brie Larson foot pictures.
Our viewer is our regular, such a great guy. Hello, Sklavko. You're right, pal.
Hey, there he is.
Top bloke. Sklavko, you need to get some of your friends on here as well, mate. This show is far better than the one viewer. Especially yesterday's show. We were on fire yesterday.
I need to go back and listen to that. That sounded good, what I heard of it. That was great.
Because we were ripping out a host with many more viewers than us. Jealousy was nothing to do with it. Just a friendly piss take.
So Matt, where do you think? Obviously, this is issue 1 of this. Fuck knows what it is. Where do you think?
Question on 30.
Where do you think this is going to go then? Considering that we've just had the Skywalker incident
in the bin.
On 30 minutes in the bin, ladies and gentlemen.
Eventually,
In
it
the
will just end up in the shredder. I mean, the good thing about these, though, if it stays in comics and books, then at least it can be easily recycled. I mean, let's face it, in the middle of a pandemic, at least we're not going to run out of shit paper, are we?
Nice. That's what it is. It's for the toilet paper shortage. They've done us all a favour. Is it soft ply?
It's a 2-in-1. You can sit there and read it, and then go, "What a load of shit," and then wipe it on your ass. It's fine.
Brilliant.
Has Gary reviewed it yet?
That is a marketing idea. Forget Gary. That is I'm writing that down. That is brilliant. Star Wars shit comics. Read it, wipe it, you're done. Brilliant. That's the best idea I've had since the idea about McDonald's. Just chuck it straight down the toilet, cut out the middleman.
Because the colours in it are also muted, and all the main exciting protagonists are Jedi, and they're all boring and wear brown. That's not really going to show up that much, so it should be all right.
Just kind of going off tangents because McDonald's was mentioned then. The touchscreen technology in
other
McDonald's.
shite foods available. Yes.
There are other, fast food vendors available when they're open.
Support
the
your local fish and chip shop.
The touchscreen ordering facilities.
The highly dubious method of contagion. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes, I was just about to say. Apparently, most touchscreens contain fecal matter. So going back. So going back to people spreading stuff, it's just a little bit all connected. That if people were to wash their hands after they've been to the toilet, or
that's another use of your Star Wars comic. You go in, wipe all the fecal matter off the menu. Shit goes to shit. Now you've got a clean menu for your dirty food.
We would never win against the virus because of just little things like that. And quickly going back to it. The virus, it's people spreading the virus. People spreading the virus means people die from the virus. It's nothing to do with the government. Fair's fair.
Well, that's where do you know what's better about the virus?
It's people's attitudes and just,
It's not my attitude, it's your attitude.
Not washing their hands, personal hygiene, etc., etc. As I said,
but that's where I prefer the virus over the comics, because at least the virus doesn't play identity politics. It's not prejudice. It'll kill anyone.
As I've said to you, as I've said many times on this channel, the virus has no agenda. The virus does what the virus does, and
it'll take you all out.
Unlike Kathleen Kennedy,
who hates some people more than others.
Is Kathleen Kennedy the true villain then, Matt?
Ultimately, at the moment, at least she is. Basically, she's Palpatine, isn't she? She wants to enslave the universe and bend it to her will, and make sure no one's got any kind of freedom of choice. Everyone has to read exactly what she puts out, her propaganda. She gets to decide what characters are loved and what characters are hated and what characters are discarded to the past and forgotten about. I actually made a meme this week of her as Palpatine, and then
I saw that.
Yeah, and sort of saying, my characters will, be the most popular, etc. And then I put like Rose Tico, Paige Tico, and Admiral Gender Studies underneath, saying like was hated, was stuck on shelves, etc., etc. And then underneath it's that little Ugnaught from The Mandalorian, who everyone loved and everyone was gutted about when he died, and he's highly sought after, and everyone wants the action figure. And then a picture of Luke underneath that saying, "You failed, Your Highness."
Nice.
Yeah, did you? Our friend of the channel, Doomcock, was talking to one of his friends about all this. He's a guy. I forget what his name is, but he was kind of connected with Disney.
George Lucas.
No, it was this. It was that guy on Thursday night talking about all the spiritual stuff as well, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, that guy.
The show that was nicked from our idea. Do you remember?
Brown show format.
Oh wait, Cameron Pasha.
Yeah, that's him.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's the guy.
He was on about Rose Tico. Yes, he was talking about Rose Tico and how she was. Is it Kelly Marie Tran?
Kelly Marie Tran experience.
She's beautiful.
When she's not in the yellow set.
She's beautiful. And he was saying
They
that
had to completely tone her down, didn't they? They had to completely change her. Yeah,
it was KK, wasn't it? Who
Keira
basically
Knightley.
said just make her look horrible.
I've got a theory. That's why Daisy Ridley is discount Keira Knightley, but they couldn't hire Keira Knightley because her initials are KK, too close to Kathleen Kennedy because she's an insert. Just a theory. Same reason they couldn't. Too many KKs.
Yeah, sorry, Matt, go on.
They're all inserts, aren't they? They're all Kathleen Kennedy inserts. You can see them a mile away.
Yeah, he was even saying that he's got the actors did the best job that they could given the shit that they were piling out.
Did they though?
So it's not their fault. It's not their fault,
isn't it though?
It was all the meddling. It was all the meddling.
Don't attack the actors. It's not their fault. The film's riding on their shoulders. They can act. Daisy Ridley.
That in combination with Colin Trevorrow's apparently excellent script thrown in the bin.
In the bin.
Well, I read the script. It wasn't excellent, but it was a damn sight better than what they actually decided to put on the screen.
Anything would have been because he was trying to undo all the damage, wasn't he, of The Last Jedi? Is that correct?
Yeah, he was trying to write a decent story, to be honest with you, and part of that involved, swapping things around and putting Luke prominently on screen for at least a portion of the film, even though he had to remain dead, which was stupid. He actually had an idea of bringing him back, but they didn't want it. They said, no, he's got to remain dead. We want him out of the picture, basically. And the reason why they threw him out the door was because he wanted to put Luke in it, and Lucasfilm, being the people they are, or at least the story group of full of feminists, want Luke buried, and that they weren't going to let it stand, for that third tentpole movie in the trilogy.
Yeah. Shocking, but true.
I don't want to make any money from these films.
It's amazing, isn't it?
But I'm going to take the moral high ground because
it's such a dumpster fire.
I'm going to lecture you about. We know what's good for you.
Yeah, we'll tell you what you want. No, we won't give you what you want. We'll tell you what you want.
We're a business, but we don't want to make any money.
It beggars belief, doesn't it? I remember 3 years ago after watching The Last Jedi and just thinking, why don't they want people's money? Why don't they want this? And of course, then the film ended up making $1 billion, so they could argue, oh look, but we broke the $1 billion mark.
Should have made two though.
Everyone liked it. Well, yeah, I know it should have, but they don't see it that way. They just see it as like a certain number. They don't think about profits and net and gross and all that kind of stuff. They just see a number and go, look at us, yeah, we're great. And they just do not think about the bigger picture. And they think that's a success when they see that. They don't think, oh, we should have doubled that from the previous, from what the previous movie made, we should have doubled it. This is the continuation. This is like the Marvel Endgame kind of movie that's accumulating to everything. And everyone should be clamoring to watch this. This should be the biggest thing ever. And it's like, no, the viewing figures shouldn't have halved or thirded in the space of 3 years.
It was touched upon on Doomcock's stream on Thursday that it was aimed at the young, late teens, early 20 people who had no money. Basically, the films were aimed at that age group, and they didn't have any money. Whereas the people who it should have been aimed at everybody, something for everybody. And there's all these people of my age, maybe a little bit older, your age, Matt and Cockney, who have they've got money and they want to buy things, but it was aimed at a age group that didn't have any money, and all it did was piss off the age group or the generation that were there at the beginning. Just who the fucking hell thought of that business plan?
It's so ridiculous.
It's fucking crazy.
It should be
film. You want the nerds, then you want the normies. I mean, that's what Star Wars did in the
Karate Kid. I'll just pipe in with Karate Kid. It's got something for everybody. I just don't understand.
Silence on the 40.
Valid point. It has something for everybody. Let's just give it 10 seconds of silence. Karate Kid, something for everybody. Are you listening? Here we go. 40 minutes. So I don't understand the logic of why all the merchandising on the shelves. You just see it on all the like the Midnight's Edge and the channels
World
like
class.
that, bullshitters and all those lot of
Shelves of Tico.
full of reduced bargain basement tat that
Rows
nobody
and rows
wants.
of rows, yeah.
Yeah.
More roses
Don't
than
get
a
it.
spare plate on Christmas afternoon. Know what I mean?
I don't get it.
I don't get
And
it.
all these people are still in charge, aren't they?
I'm perplexed
yeah.
and bamboozled. No clue. I thought the problem with Disney growing up was they're just all about the money. But as you say, they're not even about the money.
They're not even about that anymore, are they? They're just on
It's
about
weird.
lecturing.
They're just about lecturing, propaganda, preaching, and trying to sort of be overly moralistic and politically correct, and end up being none of it.
What
do you think? Would Walt Disney be turning over in his suspension tank?
I think if he was still alive and they brought him back now, he'd end up probably bombing Disney just for what they've done. He'd probably go around the parks like setting up C4 charges everywhere, and then going to Lucasfilm and burning the place down while everyone's in it.
Walt's not happy. Walt's back. He's pissed off.
I don't think he'd be pleased, would he?
He'd have the right hump.
He'd think it was abomination. I mean, look, Star Wars should be literally, and it's been said a lot over the last few years, it should be for everybody. It always was. It never chased a particular demographic.
Right.
Lucas always said that it was aimed at 12-year-olds, but that's the core of the audience. Everyone else around it, is going to enjoy it as well. It's just that he had a point where he was going to say, I'm putting my pin in there, and that's the kind of area that I'm going for that's going to appeal to the widest margin, if you like. The younger, he's going to go about 7 or 8 years younger and about 7 or 8 years older. If anyone else beyond that enjoys it, all the better. Just so happens that it was so brilliantly conceived and well written that everyone, even including the elitist film critics and people and massive fans of Citizen Kane even could see the appeal of it and what was actually so great about it, and it just became universally loved for decades. And he didn't isolate anybody. He didn't pick one demographic out above any others. He just put these movies out there and said, here are these films. If you like them, you're great. If you don't, fair enough. Go and watch what you like. Whereas Kathleen Kennedy comes in and she says, oh no, we need to target girls. We need to target minorities. We need to target people of a different sexuality. We know there's no representation for all these people. This is after going to a movie studio one day or a filming of something, I think it was, and saying, oh, I looked around the set and there weren't any women camera people. There weren't any women on the cameras.
Yeah.
So I mean, does she go to basketball games and say, where's all the white people? Does she go to like a roofing contractors and say, where's all your women laborers? Does she, go for a swim in the sea and say, oh,
what's all these fish doing here? Get some birds in there.
What the hell? Why is this full of fish? Where's all the antelopes?
The sky full of birds. I want more whales in the sky. Come on now.
It just beggars belief. And this woman and her ridiculous militantly feminist story group.
It's flawed. It's flawed logic.
Yeah, completely. They don't think about what's going to appeal to the people that have supported it for the last 40 years. They just think about that they're trying to court to bring in that don't buy this stuff and don't care about it and don't spend money on it. There's all these feminists campaigning for less misogyny and less white toxic masculinity in comics and movies and games and whatever. And then as soon as they get their way and they get all their rainbow characters and alphabet squadrons and God knows what else, they go, there you go, there's your products, enjoy. Oh, we're not going to buy that shit. We don't read comics. That's the way it goes. That's the way it is now. And this stupid moronic woman and her entourage have taken this business logic on board, and it's not business logic, it's suicide logic.
It is. And then on top of that, even their intersectional identity politics doesn't work, because now, as recently as today, they've got this whole controversy about these people, some of these fans want to fire Gina Carano. Oh, I thought she was a woman for your identity politics people. Oh, no, but she's not our kind of woman. And therefore, we want to get rid of her. And same with Finn. I mean, I don't know. It's, to me, he's a London geezer, but apparently he's quote unquote African American, and they're like, oh yeah, I get more race politics. Oh, but not for China though. Oh, Bullhole, you make FN 127 smaller. sorry, the stereotypical accent, but the point I'm making, that was a
45 minutes.
recording from an actual meeting. Basically, yeah, race politics goes out the window when it's the China market calling. So they can't even be consistent. Do you want money or do you want race politics? I don't know.
Yeah, they're desperately trying to court the Chinese market, where this dollar exists, this elusive dollar that they can't seem to lock down. So they change all their products to try and court them. Like Mulan got changed, Star Wars has got changed, and now they're
Tico.
A Korean actress. I'm sure they didn't find that patronizing in the slightest.
No.
But the whole situation of this thing now in Star Wars, I can't remember what it is. I think it's a specific book series or something like that that's being released in China. That is that the protagonists and the people that inhabit this area of the Star Wars galaxy are all Chinese. There are Star Wars aliens in there as well, but all the humans are Chinese. There's no other humans in this area of the galaxy. This is segregated little Chinatown, if you like, in the galaxy, where no other races exist. It's just China in Star Wars. So how is that inclusive, right? B, how is that in any way progressive? C, how is that anyway Star Wars, where everyone's intermixed and races exist next door to each other, no matter who or what they are? And that's the whole point of Star Wars. Was the diversity of it in the first place. And now they've just decided to segregate.
Wow.
They've done something similar in Discovery, where all the alphabet people stuck together.
Oh God! Right, yeah.
I've seen any of season 3 because it was just the biggest pile of horse shit going.
But it's like voluntary segregation.
All the show was all the alphabet were segregated together, and all the just all the kind of normies were together. It's just utter bullshit.
They're so offensive on so many levels because anyone with an interest or anyone, if you've got any kind of for example, there's, as far as my personal experience, there is no singular mono LGBTQ community because there's as much diverse as all humans anyway. You can't it's literal that's what I call it, ghettoization. It's just putting people in a group again. Right, you're gay, you're black. Oh, I'm black and gay. Oh, can you split yourself in two? Can we clone you? And then even within that, to get into this is the whole thing. It's like a light knowledge because I try. Broadly speaking, my thing is I don't care who you are, what you are, blah, blah, blah. But if you want to get into it, get deep into it. So, for example, within the quote-unquote LGBTQ community, there's a term for it, #TERF, which is what, transphobic something. But basically, there are some lesbians that don't want big burly blokes going, I'm a woman, I'm going to come into your space and join your team, which goes back to politics because now, thanks to Biden, they're going to drop funding for any school that forbids blokes calling themselves women joining teams. So it's a universe of madness. And same with Kelly Marie Tran. As far as I'm aware, she's genetically Vietnamese American. And again, this is complex. She's American. It doesn't matter what her genes are. She's American. That's it. Yeah. But if I've got it again. It's just a personal theory. It's just personal theory, not necessarily the views of this channel or Mr. Swapshop or anyone else. But I would imagine that's more low-key basic racism from Kathleen Kennedy, because she probably saw and thought, oh, Asian plays well in China, not realizing that Vietnam and China.
It's them who are the racists. That's the.
That's my issue with it. Well, they're too racist or not racist enough. They just this middle ground, this sour spot that I call it, because for us people growing up in the 80s, again, love, see no color, don't care about your orientation. Just who are you?
It's all deflection for what they are. It's deflection.
It's lazy racism because, like I say, they just that's why I've got such a bee in my bonnet about people that say Asian. You say Asian, I assume you mean someone from Vladivostok, because it basically means Oriental people. But it's like I don't want to teach racists how to racist. You know what I mean? That's why I did that video on Asia's a continent, not an ethnic group. Calm down, Cockney. Okay, me. You know what I mean? I can't teaching racists how to racist. That's why I do prefer our simplistic early to mid 80s viewpoint. I don't care. Just be a comedian, be a designer. I don't care who you fuck, what your skin color is, what you got in your pants, unless I'm trying to chat you up. And even then, after a few tequilas,
as I said, all these people are like Kathleen Kennedy. It's all deflection for what they are truly deep down. By kind of virtue signaling, oh, look at us, we're so progressive, blah blah blah. It's them. We're not the racists. It's them.
Yeah, they're
It
trying to
is.
cover up for
Yes.
their insecurities. Yeah.
They are
Yes.
deflecting. Serious point. 50 minutes.
Serious point on 50. No, I agree. Seriously, amongst the jokes, well, I guess I'm serious because I do funny things that don't land, but this is genuine serious.
Yesterday you were on
Joke
fire,
coming.
mate. Yesterday you were on fire like them
Right.
articulated lorries.
Right. Well, now that was you, but now I'm deadly serious. That is really what gets me about this. It's like lazy, low-key racism, and on top of that, claiming to be not racist while being more at least with the National Front, you knew where you were. Hello, we're racist. You know, it was simpler. But you got these. No, we're not racist. We're progressive with our racism. You can't have a job because I've got the skin chart guide here, and sorry, no, we've got too many of you. Out you go. It is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's that new employee. It's that woman from the High Republic writing team. There's two of them now that have been extremely vocal on social media about hating white people, but that's not racist at all because it's against white people.
I saw that. Was it the woman? She was just she had a big smirk on her face, didn't she? And she was just was she American, right?
Yeah, they're both American, but they're both like complete.
You just looked at
male haters completely. Yeah,
she looked an arrogant arse.
Yeah, you can kind of see just from their eyes, can't you, how mad they are underneath the surface.
Clever,
How someone just needs to pull the pin on them before they explode. You know, abysmal. By the way, Mr. Brown. By the way, Mr. I did send you a couple of links to some images on WhatsApp, so you can put them up on screen if you did so wish.
I would, but my mobile is separate to my computer. I haven't got. I don't know how to do it. Sorry, mate.
If only you had
wait a minute. Sorry.
Wait.
Hold on. Not my computer is
Amateurs.
slow. Did you send them over to Twitter?
Has Doomcock not bought you a new computer yet? He said he would.
He owes you.
Slander at 52. That's a lie I just made up, by the way. But is it slander or libel?
I sent him the channel intro video timer, and he didn't use it.
You think he just forgot?
Threw it back in your face.
No, I don't know. I thought it was all right. I said to him I wouldn't be offended if you don't want to use it. I just don't think maybe he's out of his comfort zone having to do a couple of things before the show starts. I don't know, but it is easier. All you have to do is just press the fucking timer.
Out of the comfort zone into the Harvey zone.
Like we've said, I think he needs a producer.
He needs a producer. Seconded.
Right, just bear with me. I've got the things. Just give me a second.
I think Brown should be the producer, but ironically enough, Brown needs his
I'm doing a shit job of it right now. Sorry.
On the job training. That's thematic. What you were talking about earlier. You're giving yourself on the job training.
It is. I was just about to say that, mate. Here we go. Is this it?
That's one of them. Yeah.
It's not pornographic, is it?
Better not be porn.
Depends on a certain point of view.
And this is your own fair work, is it?
Yeah, I did it in like a minute using an app on my phone.
Still better than Doom. Still better than Doomcock stuff.
Dad, you're slick. I was about to say it's 3 hours in Photoshop, slaving over a Wacom. 1 minute on the phone. You show off. That's good. If you're fishing for compliments, you got one.
I'm too practiced in making memes against Kathleen Kennedy. That's the problem.
It should be the farce. You should rename that the farce. Is female.
Yeah, it is.
Star Wars no longer caters for 50-year-old men like us. From now on,
pretty
it will
personal.
be just.
Sorry, go on.
Sorry,
must stop clicking.
I can quickly fall out with you, Cockney.
I just can't help myself. I noticed that half a second of silence. I'm in there like a rabbit. All right, I'm shutting up now.
You're like a dog's cock. You're like a dog's cock, aren't you? You've got to be in.
They say nothing. Go on then, talk.
I'm using it for comedic effect. From now on, it will be just the girls, minorities, and younger generations. Are these your own words, Matthew?
Yeah, they're based on quotes from her, though.
Oh, okay. Very good. I will ensure all the attention and popularity will exist only for my diverse new characters. If you don't like it, 50-year-olds, go fuck yourself. Is that right?
Don't like my politics. Don't buy my book.
Died and left on shelves. I can't see that. Spare me. Oh,
That's better.
I've just figured out the Zoom key live on air, ladies and gents. Who's that then? That's is that what's the one on the left? Died and left on shelves.
Yeah, that's Paige Tico. She died at the start of the film. Like that's why no one remembers her because she was this attractive Oriental girl that was like in it for about a minute and then got blown up. And it's supposed to be the sister of Potato Sack Girl, Rose Tico.
Thank you for not saying Asian, by the way. Thank you.
Rose Tico with the BFG, hated and left on shelves. Shame.
No one wanted that character.
I think the poor girl got the shit end of the stick for all this.
She should have been cast in the first place, to be honest with you.
Well,
there's no place for that character.
I know, but irrespective of that, unfortunately, she got the brunt end of all this, didn't she?
I'm sure she thought, "Wow, I'm in Star Wars. This is going to be great. I'm going to have all this merchandise."
Role of a lifetime, and she just got all this fucking nastiness, not through her own fault either.
Not at all. No, she's just a tool for the director and writer. You know.
Yeah. Died, hated, and left on shelves. That's the hold all removal.
With Holdo, yeah.
Yeah.
Gender studies.
Died, loved, and highly sought after.
That's Q-Ill from The Mandalorian. That's the Ugnaught guy.
That's the Nick Nolte.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. What was his catch line?
I have spoken.
Much like Cockney, I have spoken.
I am speaking.
I'm speaking. You listen, you fucker.
That should be your catchphrase. That and I'm going to be 5 minutes late. I'm just having a random chat with a work colleague.
with a very very, very good friend.
Okay.
You failed, Your Highness. Oh, Luke.
Why's he got a pack of licorice behind him?
I did wonder that, but it is in the shot when you look at the film.
Wow,
it looks like he's on a game show, like where the bars go up to the top or something. Like a.
His strength's on 70%. Come on, Luke, you can do it on 3, 2, 1.
Come on, son. Come on.
He's on Pointless.
You've lost R2D2, but you can go home with Dusty Bin.
He's the final contestant on an episode of Pointless, which is pretty much the entire trilogy, isn't it?
Episode Pointless.
1983. Nothing done with that character since then.
Tragic.
And they kill him off with absolutely no fanfare whatsoever. But the Mandalorian brings it back, which is like Return of the Jedi Luke, which is hence the picture at the bottom there.
Okay, so 1983 at the bottom of there, 2001 Christmas practically. 30, how many years is that? 36 years? Yeah, 36 years of missed opportunity with that character.
Yeah, people clamoring and desperate for more adventures with him in them, and nothing for that amount.
36 years of no merch.
It is like the World Cup. Basically, Jedi was like
it's coming home. It's coming home. Luke Skywalker's coming home.
Oh, it is Euro 96. The Disney trilogy is Euro 96, isn't it? They trot them out in the grey umbrella tops and they lose in the semis. That's exactly what it is. All that hope fucked at the last minute.
Didn't they get them to like wear, or they wanted them to wear like red jerseys as well, to kind of as a callback to '66 or something, just for nostalgia reasons, something like that.
Yes. Yeah, totally. That was it. And Umbro made them wear grey ones.
That's it.
So it's like the equivalent of Rose Tico in the set.
Yeah.
She wants to wear a chainmail bikini.
Every time I see Gaza missing that ball by 2 inches, fucking hell, is he going to get it this time?
That's like Luke dying, isn't it? It is. I've seen the comparison.
He is Paul Gascoigne.
Disney trilogy is Euro 96.
He is the Gaza. He is the Gaza of Star Wars.
We've done it. Special moment on the hour. On the hour. We've linked
Matthew, you have been part of a very, very special broadcast today. I hope you realise that.
If any of my mates are listening, see, Star Wars and football are linked. Yes,
yeah, you made the analogy right there. You've made
20 minutes of soapbox for me, which is always a good thing, especially when I know I'm right. And 40 minutes of stuff we love, Star Wars.
Wow, I'm reeling from that. Instead of come on England.
He's the Gaza. He's the Paul Gascoigne, isn't he?
You only sing when you're assimilating. Sing when you're assimilating. Oh, sorry, that's Star Trek, isn't it?
Or is it? Who was the guy that scored the winning goal in '66? I'm not a football fan. I can't remember.
Jeff Hurst.
Nobby Stiles. Yeah, Jeff Hurst. Go on then.
Was it Jeff Hurst?
Oh, did you ever see the Three Lions? Three Lions. The Three Lions song.
Yeah.
I always remember it was released again for Euro 2000, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
And on the video, on the official video, and Frank Skinner and David Baddiel, all the German players on the video had the name of a German player from '96 who scored the winning goal.
Oh.
Kuntz.
K-U-N-T-Z.
Now, come on.
Yes. And I remember watching MTV. This was many, many years ago. I was still living in Leeds. So it had been, I think it's probably roughly the time when that song was out. So it had been about 2000. I'm watching MTV, the Lightning Seeds video with, all of you should check it out on YouTube, by the way. It had the MTV censored the German shirts. So you had, like the Borg pixelated shielding over the name. So you couldn't see the name Kuntz.
Wow.
It was a subtle touch. Yeah. And to be fair, whoever was at MTV understood the joke perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
But technically, it's a guy's name. So it is censorship. But it was a multi-leveled joke.
That's deep, isn't it? It's a deep cut, that one.
Cunts. Just works on every. You even have the Z. You even have the Z on his name to give it the plural of CUNT. Just works on so many levels.
What about the?
Should never have been censored. Should never have been censored. I'm getting to it, Matthew. Don't worry. Yeah, I didn't know this was you, so I thought, well done, mate. Honestly, good work.
You're a talented young man. You should do more things.
You should do some stuff for. You should do some work for Doomcock.
You think you'll like it? I don't know. I don't know if you'll like it or not. For free, yeah, all for free. Of course it is. I just got sick.
Design tradition. Sorry,
I just got sick of seeing this same character in every single bloody element of pop culture. And I just thought, how many are there now? And I tried to keep count. And of course, the best way of doing that is by sticking them all in a collage, isn't it?
I must admit, special moment because it's. I didn't know I was going to meet the author of this piece of art. Now you're here.
Well done, mate.
You got me thinking because I had to check myself for a minute and think. Well, if I was a coloured lady, would I be going? Well, this is what I've been looking at posters of straight white.
Would you be offended by that if you were a coloured young lady?
So I think the haircut shows that it's not just a race thing. There is, like you say, it's like a specific. It's Burnham clones, isn't it?
Oh yeah, the skin there. Can you see my pointer? The skin. Zoom in. There she is. Skin from Skunk and Nancy.
Skin from Skunk and Nancy. Where? Which one's skin?
There on the See.
Because the original Skin from actual Skunk and Nancy, she was rock and roll.
See her?
On the right.
Yeah. Looks like she's on her way to a concert.
I can't remember her name. It's a character from Black Panther.
T'Challa.
Yeah, well, that's Skin from Skunk and Nancy. Everybody at home, Google it.
See, that's one of those moments I thought, is he confused? Is he making a joke? Is he being racist? Is it all three? I didn't know how to react.
Matthew, you're a very clever boy.
He's on to something, isn't he?
Are you? You're a clever boy.
I got accused of people sort of piling on me on Twitter saying like, "Oh, you just hate black women." I'm like, I never mentioned color once. I just said they're all the same character. That's all it was.
Yes, that's why the haircut's relevant. Because if it was massively different haircuts, then they might have a point. But it's an archetype, isn't it? I mean, we don't see Jackie Brown on here, for example, randomly.
Right.
Great film.
So yeah, no, it's not race. It is an archetype. So they're racist for saying that because they're not looking beyond the race, are they? Ah, you got them. Clever double bluff, 3D chess, nice.
Just called them out on it straight away, and they soon they just went silent after that straight away.
You're a clever boy.
I mean, you could go deep into it and go, actually, most of these people, if you look genetically, are probably mixed race and probably have African and European
fuckers nick my.
See what I mean about the racism? Once you get into it,
look at her.
There is no race. There's just people.
Can you see it? She's nicked my channel logo. Look, bastard. See her?
Yeah, that's America Chavez. Yeah, one of the most hated Marvel characters.
I could see why she's nicked it then.
She's got your bicycle as well.
I look at Burnham up the top.
Burnham's the favourite.
She's kind of the template, isn't she? Really.
I feel sorry for the actress.
She is actually a really good actress. When she, I've seen her in Walking Dead. She was great in that. But
I feel sorry for the actress.
But that's why when we get onto, because we touched upon it with Daisy Ridley earlier, I want to see the actors in Star Wars, and I mean that in a non-sexual way, actors of male and female persuasion and in between, in other roles to see if they are. She's got a beard, bloody hell!
Matthew, who's that?
Something to hold on to.
I think it's from the. I mean, I don't follow it myself, but I had it suggested to me by someone else to include on the collage. But it's a character from Magic the Gathering, that card game.
I like the beard.
Yeah, they're a non-binary.
Nice.
Obviously, they're a non-gender specific character, so obviously they have to suddenly have the side of the head shaved and look
attractive,
but with a soul patch.
I'm so confused. I don't know whether to kiss her or slap her. Both.
I like the beard.
You have to say them. It's they're non-binary. You can't say he or she. It's them or they.
Even if it's one of them, I'm talking about one them.
I
can't keep up with the new generation.
I did sports massage, and we had to learn anatomy and physiology, and you know the word gonad.
Yes.
Gonad or gonads is
bollocks.
You would think, because Viz, you remember Buster Gonads and his
unfeasibly large testicles.
Yeah.
Hello, lads. With his wheelbarrow.
Everybody thought that gonads just referred to that, but it doesn't. Gonads refers to the female organ as well.
The ovaries.
Yes. So straight away their logic is flawed. Yeah.
I've got to say,
it's
side note, flawed.
Completely flawed. Yeah. You are basically your gonads, yeah, irrespective of it being male or female, dictates what you are, right? And I'm sorry, you're not a it, you're not a them, you're not a thing or whatever, yeah. You are what is deep in the center of your body. Yeah.
Mr. Brown, are you suggesting that your gender is based on your physicality?
Irrespective,
how dare you?
Irrespective of it's hanging outside your body or inside your body, your gonads say what gender you are. I know people who are kind of born in the wrong body and stuff like that. Yes, I recognise that. Yeah. But anybody who says I'm a thing or whatever, what a load of old shite. Sorry, very toxic.
So people with a penis are a bloke and people with a vagina are a lady? Is that what you're saying?
No.
You fucking dinosaur.
Well, technically, yes.
What?
But I'm kind of...
You all heard it?
I'm a level up from that by saying it's the gonads.
Oh, why don't you go and piss off and buy a Harry Potter book, you bloody prejudiced old geezer?
I think the word gonad is a good word to use for this type of character.
Because they're written like bollocks.
Yeah, they're just bollocks. Yeah,
but the gonad was better written.
She's got a shaped head. She's
funny.
She's non-white of she's diverse, and she's got a disgusting attitude. She must be a gonad.
Think about that, ladies and gents. Yeah, you're probably right.
Oh, by the way, that top right, that woman with the crazy eyes in the top right, she's one of the writers for the High Republic. And she came out recently with a tirade against white people. So make of that what you will.
Against sane people with not googly eyes.
Wasn't there? There's been the BBC have been under fire recently because there was a woman on a comedian. Was it on the One Show? Non-Caucasian comedian, basically saying, making jokes out of kill white men.
Jesus, really?
Yeah, and I think there's been some complaints, and I think the police were investigating.
Wow.
I have not got an issue about a woman of non-Caucasian doing that, because
exactly freedom of speech.
Yeah, I haven't got a problem with that, but it's
I agree.
If I was to do that, kill non-Caucasians, I'd be strung up. And
it's that argument, isn't it? Basically, if you flip it back and say, and swap out white person for black or Chinese or whoever, then it would be
Cockney knows exactly where I'm going with this, don't you, Cockney?
I thought I was actually following what's watching. I guess I know where you're both going. I'm going to zone out because I know what you're going to say. This is some Tenet shit right here, and you're both right.
The channel mantra is it's sheer fucking double standards.
Nice.
Double standards, all of it.
It is, and it's not a difficult mental exercise because we can all do that exactly. So exactly that. It's a double standard. Why is it allowed? But I agree with
double
your
standards.
Point, by the way. I mean, there's a line to be drawn with hate speech, but I think, low key racism of whatever race, or ageism, whatever prejudice you like, pick your bigotry. Let them do it up to a certain extent, because if someone wants to, expose their silly thinking, I'm definitely on this. As I say, there's limits to everything. It's not completely black and white. No pun intended. But I think basically, up to a certain extent, if people want to make fools of themselves making silly statements, definitely don't ban them. Let them to it. I mean, basically that.
Never mind.
Never mind.
This thing
from the football thing, though. The football.
We are. That was very deep.
Star Wars is football.
It wasn't really a thing until like 2016 with that Ghostbusters film. It was kind of all very kind of subliminal, not really that much in the media. I mean, super Marxist progressive stations like the BBC were kind of pushing it a lot for those that actually were.
Do you think that was the catalyst for it? 2016 does seem to be a big year for where the election filtering through.
Yeah,
the lack of election of Hillary.
Yeah, and basically all the feminists and the progressives came out, these militant people trying to force identity politics into everything. And they looked around for the major, most successful, most popular franchises in popular entertainment, like Ghostbusters. That was, that was a sacrificial lamb right there. And they just picked them out, and they think, this has got a huge audience. Just imagine the indoctrination we can flood with this. All those people, those minds we can reach to preach our intersectional feminism to. And Ghostbusters fell, Star Trek fell, Star Wars fell, comics fell, video games in the firing line. Doctor Who was a massive one that fell. They just target these things. They think, this was basically a franchise written by, well, not necessarily written by, but followed by and starring straight white males. They've got that. That's the majority of the audience. Great, we can take them all down. We've had decades of this being oppressed. We can take them all down in one fell swoop by infiltrating their media and indoctrinating them and basically cancelling them in front of their own audience and banishing them to history with the dinosaurs where they belong, etc., etc. And they've used all of these franchises. So now men, boys, males, straight white human beings cannot have something of their own to enjoy.
We're not allowed to have any. We're not allowed to have any anything of comfort. We're not allowed to have any joy in this joyless world.
They've taken it away. It's
They've
true. That's a
taken- yeah.
valid. I just want to say, valid observation. That is the pattern. It's quite deliberate, isn't it? They're doing it to all the best franchises.
One after another, yeah. They've got to run out of them eventually. And
there'll be nothing left.
No, and it would just be a wasteland. Hollywood is already becoming a wasteland now because of it.
Wasteland. It's true.
Money,
1 hour 15.
No one's paying. No one's giving them money. No one's buying tickets. No one's going to see this stuff. No one's buying the merchandise. Star Wars was as big as it was because fans were so obsessive and loved it so much that they went to repeated viewings. They bought repeated versions of the DVDs and the videos. They bought multiples of the merchandise, of the figures, some to keep in packets, some to take out. It sold multiples of what it should have sold because it was so great. And now they've just killed it with this forced feminism and these terrible characters that no one's interested in, no one wants. Suddenly, The Mandalorian comes along. It's a breath of fresh air. Everyone's out buying the merchandise again. Well, I wonder why that is.
Exactly, because it's only a tenth as good as the original Star Wars, but that's still 100 times better than the crap they've been giving us from Kathleen's death.
Oh yeah,
spot on.
As I said to Cockney on a previous stream,
Did you?
You don't even know what I'm going to say.
I'm just surprised already.
The Mandalorian, it just seemed like I watched it on Friday evening, 8:30, 9 o'clock, and I don't know. It just seemed like everybody was watching it at the same time, no matter where you were in the world.
Yeah,
it just seemed by 10 o'clock UK time that night, this massive wave of joy.
Yeah, it was. Even though, like you said, it's not without its problems, but people could appreciate it for what it was, because we've been given cracker bread for the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
And now we're
not
getting,
even that good, mate. Not even that good.
Not even that good. And now we're getting a piece of premium sliced Marks and Spencer's bread with Bordeaux cheese and I don't know, cranberry and bacon on top of it.
Nice umami. Nice umami, yes.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't quite have the top layer of the sandwich, but it's a million times better than the shit that we've been shoveled, for previous years.
Yes, exactly that.
Do you? That was the kind of warning shot off the bow, wasn't it, for all this shite that's going on?
Ghostbusters was the thunder of the avalanche before the snow started rolling.
Right.
What, the original one or the? I still haven't seen that. Have you seen it?
I've seen it just for a laugh. I had a mate round from London who was a black lady, and she still is, surprisingly enough. And we sat there and watched it, and because she wanted to see it because it was new out at the time.
Do you have non-Caucasian friends?
I do. Not many at the moment because obviously, no one has any friends. But anyway, we were sitting there watching it, and I'd read reviews and heard people slagging it off and stuff, but I thought I'll give it a chance anyway because I like some of the actresses in it.
Yeah.
So we sat there and watched it. I actually genuinely laughed at some of the jokes part of the way through, but by the end, I was wanting to tear my eyes out and shite on them and then put them in the paper shredder.
Damn, that is a strong reaction from
honestly,
a designer.
It got so bad at a certain point of the film, and right at the end, I mean, I'm not going to spoil it for anyone by saying this, but the main villain who becomes this giant ghost thing, they kill him by shooting him in the dick.
Ooh, metaphor at 118.
All the men in it are either villains or stupid, and it was the start of that trope, and it's carried on since then.
Chris Hemsworth was in that, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. I mean, he's a good comedic actor,
wasn't he?
Yeah, he was a good comedic actor, but the character
sold his soul.
Yeah, character was abysmal, and I can't say enough terrible things about that film. But he was kind of a highlight about it because he's so deadpan, but he can really pull off a bit of comedic timing when he tries. But I still wouldn't see it for him because it's just utter trash, And this is coming from someone that actually likes Helen McCarthy, or used to like Helen McCarthy, and the woman that plays Cheetah in the latest Wonder Woman movie. I've forgotten her name now. I've seen stuff.
Kirsten Wiig.
Yeah, that's the one.
She can only play Kirsten Wiig.
She can. You're right. Absolutely. But I've seen stuff they've done, and they're great. But
very attractive.
I gave them the benefit of the doubt. Saw the film.
2 points.
Annoying.
Yeah, and I just saw it. I thought, what on earth? I'm glad I didn't pay for it. I'm glad I downloaded it highly illegally, and I will gladly shout that from the rooftops that I downloaded it, and it was abysmal. I can't get those 2 hours back, sadly.
Did you maybe you should try and re-upload it as a protest?
Refeed the internet with that shite, yeah. So other people have to suffer to kind of balance out my own suffering, yeah.
Unpirate it.
It's,
deleting it's not good enough.
Yeah.
Take it back. Upload it back.
It's a shame with what's going on that the new Ghostbusters isn't going to be out anytime soon.
Yeah, that's right. It's supposed to be out already, wasn't it? Like months ago.
Yeah. Just to see, because obviously that's going to be taking it over to a new generation, but you're going to have some of the older characters. So we'll see if it's going to be done right. We'll see if it's going to be done right.
Yeah, I'm kind of.
I'm kind of hopeful.
But then I saw that the majority of the cast are all going to be little kids, and I just thought, hang on a minute.
Yeah, but they're passing it over.
I've seen 3 seasons of Stranger Things. Why do I need that in this as well? You know, I want some funny adults. I want some funny adults smoking, drinking, swearing, and running around being scared with some cool special effects and ghosts and stuff. That's what I want. I don't want a bunch of kids. You know, I don't want it to be sanitized and watch something that's going to be aimed at 5-year-olds instead of something that was originally aimed at young adults as the core demographic. You know, this. I just looked at it and I just thought, man, I can't really get behind this. I really can't. Like you say, Mr. Brown, I'm keep my fingers crossed it's going to be good, and I hope it is. But as soon as I saw the casting, I was like, yeah, I think I'll leave it. Thanks.
Bearing in mind, remember when we saw it originally, we were young adults. Yeah. So I just think the problem is, yes, aim it at young adults again, but I just don't think the storytelling or the stuff behind the storytelling is going to be quite as pure as what it was when we were young adults, and that's the difference, isn't it?
I think what they need to do is they need to Cobra Kai it. That's what they need to do.
Yeah, Cobra Kai is not perfect, but it's got something for everybody, and it kind of just takes the piss out of itself as well, which I quite like. Like
other people have said elsewhere, you know, it's what was previously a dead franchise that no one really was asking for any sequels to. And suddenly they came along, looked at it and thought, we can actually make something great here. And they put it out. It is great. So many people love it, unreservedly. Of course, you're getting the feminists all attacking it because of, you know, toxic masculinity, etc., that bullshit. But it kind of plays on that. And the fact that it's against the sort of the woke feminist movements and this sort of soyization of men, you know, it's metrosexuality bullshit that the left has tried to force on heterosexual men, you know, and it plays on all that. And I think that Ghostbusters movie taking that stance would have been phenomenal.
I'm a soy boy. I put soy in my coffee, so guilty, busted.
Oh dear! How are your breasts coming along?
How many you got now? 4?
Not too bad. Not too bad. Yeah, they're all right. Me gonads are going up into my body slowly. They're going up there, mate. I'm doing all right.
Your voice is
You're
still
not careful.
You know, at least you haven't lost that.
If you're not careful, Mark Hamill's going to come along and milk you.
Yes, Mr. Brown from the centre of Dagenham. Yes.
You see, I drink almond milk, which is quite different. So you might want to go down that route if you want to stay away.
You drink what? Sorry, I didn't quite catch
almond milk, and not Mark Almond either. Thanks.
Nice music link. Or David Ball, indeed.
Almond milk, while it tastes okay, you don't get a decent crema in coffee.
That's tainted coffee. Take my tainted coffee. Take these sachets and go.
You get the best. You get the best crema from soy. Yeah, and I genuinely think it tastes better anyway, because effectively all they do is put apple juice in it. So,
right,
yeah. Great on. I am a soy boy. I freely admit it. It's soy good on cereal. Proud. It's great on cereal, to be fair.
Cereal killer.
Change your name now on your screen name to inverted commas.
Soy boy.
Soy Brown.
Soy in
my bedroom.
Soy in Spanish means I am.
So I am soy. Soy.
So there you go. I am.
User baby. Actually, I used to get confused with soya and soy, as in soy sauce and soy. If you know what I mean.
It's all the same thing.
It's not,
isn't it?
I got confused.
Go on then.
Well, one's sauce
Explain.
and one's milk, but they can't be made from the same thing, can they? Because you don't want to put. Well, you don't want to be putting soy milk on your rice. You don't want to be putting soy sauce in your coffee, do you? Or do you?
Well, I don't know. Has anyone tried it?
Good point. Don't knock it till you've tried it. Right. So one soy sauce in me tea, please. Thank you.
How many soys you want?
Exactly.
I must admit, I've recently revisited pot noodles.
Nipples.
Yeah. Pot noodles.
Oh, noodles.
Pot noodles.
I thought you said pot nipples. It's your buffering, mate.
Buffering. Yeah, I think my internet connection's a bit spotty today.
The Baron of Buffering.
I asked Robert Meyer if he wants to come on at 8 o'clock tonight. Did you see that?
Speaking of the Baron of Buffering.
So we'll finish off in 5 minutes. So Matthew, what are you up to? What projects you got on the go, mate?
If any. Writing a lot. That's always a massive.
You're still doing the book, yeah?
God, yeah. It takes up so much time. Yeah.
You two, Cockney does. You two do books, don't you? You two.
Oh, tell us about your book swap shop.
What, the band or me and Mr. Spock?
Cockney is now interested in you on a personal level because you write books.
I like writers. Tell me more.
He loves writers, so you're in, pal.
Well, I'm an amateur writer. It's the first thing I've ever written, but it's not crap. I'll put it that way. It might not be the greatest thing in the world, but it's not Dan Brown. So it's
no relation. No relation.
You mean it will actually pass O-level English? Brilliant.
Yeah.
No relation.
Yeah, I've got a GCSE in that. So that obviously.
Oh, well done, mate. Well done.
He's a young man. GCSE.
Oh, young man.
Back in my day, we had O-levels and CSEs.
Same here.
Then they mashed them up into one thing, didn't they?
And I fucked them up.
Dirk Benedict. It's honestly, it's bloody difficult to write. I'll tell you that now. Pain in the arse, but. There are times when I really hate doing it because it's just like, oh god, this again. I need to move it forwards, and you can't because you've got to put exposition in and stuff, and it's just you feel like wading.
What's exposition mean? I'm thick. Explain.
It's explanatory dialogue and explanatory narrative.
Oh,
you mean like basically what
American
American TV is based on that, isn't it?
A lot of feelings in hallways.
Explainers.
Well, with Game of Thrones, they said they got bored of it, so they called it sexposition. They was just stick some tits in there while you're explaining the story.
I like that exposition. Yeah, there aren't obviously with it being a Star Wars novel. There's no sexposition technically, but there's a little bit of love here and there, But it's honestly, I'm about 85 to 90% finished. So if I just keep plugging. I should be able to get it finished, soonish.
Good man.
But it's a replacement for episode 8 and episode 9 because they were so shite. That,
so you're taking 7 jump off.
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that. They were what? Sorry, Matthew.
They're rather substandard.
Nice comedy gold.
Nice. I thought I'd replace them with something else that's a lot better that fans would actually appreciate, and we could have a decent closure on that trilogy. And it actually makes sense the way it continues from 7 to 8, including the start of episode 8 as Ryan.
Which one was 7 again? Which one was 7 again?
Where Han died.
Right. Yeah, that's it. Ray, and then the last
missed opportunity of getting the Beatles back together. That's all I'll remember that film for.
Mate, don't get me started. Anyway, so the Last Jedi, it starts off the same as the Last Jedi, but then it flips and changes. It uses the Last Jedi on against itself, if you like, and then goes off on a completely different tangent, as they should have done for episode 9. All it takes is a bit of imagination, and you can make an actual decent story. So that's what I've done. I've basically taken the concept of Ryan Johnson being shit and knowing that I could do better and proving it.
The thing is,
nice.
The guy is not shit, is he? Really?
Yes, he is.
Who, Ryan Johnson?
And the writer.
Reasonable.
You can't write.
All right, fair enough.
Write.
All right, I'll take that back then. Sorry.
Objectively bad writer.
Yeah, he's already admitted publicly he can't write, but and Kathleen Kennedy decided to give him a writing job and take on board his first draft without any.
Shocking.
So I
although he did direct
2
of the best episodes of Breaking Bad.
Oh, the one with the fly in it. Oh, we got a fly buzzing around for an hour. That's a good fucking episode, isn't it? Brilliant.
No, it's the one.
Well done, Ryan.
It's the one where his brother-in-law gets in the fucking desert, isn't it? That one.
Oh, yeah. See, he's a good director when he's got good material.
He should have just retired on. Yeah, he should have just retired on that.
He's just shockingly bad. You're right. He should have just finished there. Stay away from Star Wars. Stay away from genre. Just
finish off on that episode.
Yeah.
Job's a good one.
I haven't seen Knives Out, but I don't really want to see anything he makes from now on, to be honest with you.
I heard one detail about Knives Out that underscores what a bad writer he is, because apparently at the end there's a painting that changes. It's like, that's not how it works. Put the bong down, Ryan. That's reality. It's got a very weak concept of reality. I mean, I'm glad you're rewriting it. I'm still deconstructing it. I think there's still more unwritten words to be written about objectively why Last Jedi is shite from a writing perspective.
Do you know what we should do? Do you know what we should do?
Get Ryan Johnson on.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, you two are writers and do books and stuff. Why don't you two do a stream? Cockney, you've seen all the latest Star Wars films, yes?
Star Wars, what's that? No, yeah, I have. I even bought Last Jedi, actually, because I wanted to...
Right, we're going to end there on that bombshell, ladies and gents.
I did. I bought the Blu-ray. I
banned
money.
Banned from the channel. Cockney Mirror Spock banned permanently.
Again?
For buying shite.
Hey, look, at least I did the right thing. I spent the money, Disney. I saw it twice at the cinema, and then I bought the Blu-ray.
Oh,
God. I hope you're happy.
Twice in the cinema. Fucking hell.
Do you know what?
I'm a sucker for punishment. Because it's
I think
bad.
I stumped up the extra money for IMAX as well. Fuck it now.
All right, the real answer was the second time with my son. So the first time I saw it, I didn't know it'd be shite. And the second time, I recommitted to seeing it with my son. So, yeah, parental thing.
Okay, I think
right.
just as I think you two maybe should just do a little stream. I'll host it on here because I don't effectively need to be on. So maybe you two should do a.
We talk writing.
Yeah, talk writing and just kind of go for it.
I know.
Over
We need you on. You're a facilitator. We've only just met. It could get awkward. Is at a party.
No, see,
I think two guys at a party. One goes, "I'm writing a book." The other one goes, "Neither am I." Oh, he's done it now. At last, he's taken the hint. He's gone. Anyway, he's not even properly introduced us. All right, Swap Shop, how you doing?
It reminds me of those. It reminds me of ads in the 80s where they showed blokes in the pub. They're advertising something like a beer or something like that, and they're sat in the pub having a drink, but they can never have two men on screen because it kind of suggests they might be gay.
Oh, you can't have that. And equally for the feminists, it's now it's dropped out of my head. What's that? The bed shell test. The bed shell test.
Oh yeah.
Thank you. That one. What is it? If you've got to at least have 1 point, 2 women or 2 non-men having a conversation that isn't about the main male character. And I've decided that in my first story, whatever it is, whatever my first published screenplay short story, I'm going to have 2 female characters talking about the bed shell test. I'm going to pass the bed shell test. How meta is that?
I'm back. I'm back. Just a quick little question.
Surname Bedshell.
Better. Oh yeah,
Matthew.
You know what, Brown? You're right.
Have you just got warmed up?
Oh well, we're getting on a roll then. Yeah, carry on. It's all right.
Have you just got just question? Have you just got warmed up?
Well, I've got.
Where's this going, Brown?
It's not a trick question. Do you feel like now you've just got warmed up and getting into it?
It is a trick question.
Why?
Have you just got warmed up? Is what I'm saying, because we've gone past the magic 130. You see, the cutoff point.
Let's keep going. Come on, lads.
I'd be more than willing to end the stream, set another link up, bring it back. I need a drink basically, and then you two can just knock yourself out for an hour. So that's the invite.
The idea of that is great, and I'd love to do that on a next live stream. But
you're busy.
Not with Cockney.
Yeah, not with you. No, I am scheduled to go for a run, which I've got to shoehorn in at some point today. So I've got to go and do that first. But after I get
right,
I reckon next time, based on that 30 seconds, I think
we'll do that. Yeah, should we do that? But I'm sure you two could do an hour between you, an hour and a half.
I'm going to say I'm going to say just speak my mind because I don't even know.
Go on, you always do.
It's happening so quickly. I'm not even processing the information, so I don't even know.
Wow.
Just on instinct, because I'm based on that 30 seconds. I like the dynamic with Swap Shop. First of all, I've got to find out why I call Swap Shop now. But I think I like to have Brown there just to bounce. It's basically like getting dropped off a at kindergarten or something like that. It's like, oh, well, it looks like it could be fun, but Dad, can you just hang out for the first hour while I get used to it?
Yeah,
Great.
Just being honest.
okay, right.
Gut instinct.
Sklavko, who stuck with us to the end. We don't deserve a viewer like you, my friend.
Deserve a
Thank
viewer.
you. We don't deserve a viewer.
That was awkward.
I know, Sklavko, there weren't the penny wasn't dropping, was it? But I think, good idea, though. You two should just come on here at one point and I'd be interested just to listen. Yeah?
Have you on to listen?
Yeah, talk shop. Yeah, I'd be interested. It's the channel's about variety, mate, you know.
Well, I'll tell you what then.
It's good
All
therapy,
right, to
end
go
of the
with
day.
that, so let's embrace the awkwardness of the moment. Come here, awkwardness. Hug it out, you bitch. Right, because the thing is, I've been not writing a 9-part screenplay for 15 years. In fact, I've just tossed it all in the fucking
We're
bin.
going to finish up in
films
4.
are over. So my specific thing then is I've got to get a 10,000-word story written for the Burnett work. So there is a specific thing.
By
that,
8 o'clock tonight.
Mr. Burnett has got a writing competition, and I want to win that motherfucker.
Whoever's feeding it into the shredder now, tell them to stop because you could salvage that.
All right then. I'll pull out those words.
We need
but that
to get,
is my
we need
target.
to get
One
Burnett
short
on
story.
here for 8 o'clock tonight.
I'm obviously I'm a friend of Echo Based Network as well, and they've got a writing competition going regularly. But that's for like people that the odd little short story or bit of fan fiction, you know, and they invite people to show the creativity off. And I've got this like whopping great King novel based on movies, based on Star Wars. That I'm gonna lob on them and see what their reaction to that finished. Yeah, so I think they'll probably go, "Oh yeah, Demon Scissors Wave just given us a little pamphlet to what the fuck is this?"
He's lobbed us a whopper.
Yeah, basically just unzipped and flopped it out on the table, and we'll see.
There you go, boys. Sklavko, it says when he comes to Manchester, I'll give you a call.
We'll have to be long distance. I'm in New Zealand, mate.
I'm sure we can. Listen, Sklavko, once all this madness is over, I'm sure we can arrange something, yeah?
I'm sure there'll be a fun old get-together at some point.
Shall we? We've got 3 minutes, so we'll finish off and then we'll call it a draw, yes? Sklavko, thanks for sticking to the end, mate. Honestly, cheers, pal. Appreciate it. It's always nice to have somebody, at least, you know, on the other end, so... tell your friends. So, are we going to do this? We'll do this writing thing then at some point between you two.
Sometime in the next couple of days, because I'm up for it. Whenever you guys.
Yeah, I think genuinely, I'd be genuinely interested in that. I'll just sit back and, you know, it could be good.
Yeah, yeah.
Good for me, because I need to pull my finger out
of your ass.
Well, metaphorically and literally.
Please tweet Burnett. We need him on for 8 o'clock tonight, Cockney.
He'll drop.
I've got no influence over him. Oh, actually, he's my best mate today.
Just,
so right.
Just for an hour. Just do like the new lockdown Nooner USA.
All right. How do we spin it? Doomcock's begging to come on, but we said no because we want you.
I've tweeted him already, so just put on the same tweet. Go on, or you know, just say do it. Because I know he's doing his show. I know he's doing his show tonight, but he doesn't do that till 10 o'clock anyway. So
even if it's just for 10 minutes, you know,
he's got a window to do it for an hour. I know he has. So anyway,
well, all right, I'll send him a tweet.
Okay, right. So we'll finish off. Yes.
Yeah, I definitely would like to do the the two of us with you, Brown, in the background.
I think that'd be great fun.
Final question from Sklavko at Cockney. Is that why you are so green, Cockney?
It depends. What's the question? Why am I so green? Jealousy?
Because you're in New Zealand, maybe? Is everyone green in New Zealand?
Clean and green. Oh, don't get me started. Cows crapping in the river. Oh, it's just a myth.
And then he goes,
not quite as clean and green
he goes BC of NZ.
So I'm green because of NZ. Yeah, green with envy at the moment.
You are, mate. I know.
Yeah.
Especially, I know you are, mate. You love it on here, don't you?
I do. I wish I could live here.
Right. You've got 50 seconds, so if there's anything you want to say it now. Other than that, cheers, everybody. We'll see you when we pop up next time. Blah, 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 blah. Thank you, peeps.
Thank you.
Julia!
Sticky belly flapcock.
Cheers, guys. Been genuinely fun again. Serious at the beginning, but good format. Serious at the beginning, then do all the fun stuff after. We will probably, hopefully, be popping up at 8 o'clock tonight if we can organise Robert Meyer Burnett. Other than that, I'm sure we will be around tomorrow. I'm trying to pad this out to 1:40.
5 seconds to go.
5, 4.
Julia!
I'll tell you what I'm going to do before you go.
Oh, fuck, now we're on for another hour.
We'll finish off with the timer I did for Doomcock, which
finish off with the Doomcock?
Yeah. Bye.